Hello there, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Dr. Gwen from the Dr. Gwen International Training and Empowerment Academy and host of the iTunes show, The Dr. Gwen Show. It is cloudy, it is overcast, it is chilly, it is raining, and it is a beautiful day. How do I know it's a beautiful day? Because I said so. And that, my friend, is the power of my thoughts and the power of the circumstances that I am creating every day for my life. Now, I know today is our first day coming back out of the election, and I am not having an election conversation today. In fact, I quite don't involve myself in those discussions, but getting on Facebook today, I couldn't help but notice the doom and the gloom and all the conversations that other people are having about moving and about how horrible things are and about the economic circumstance and about how shocked they are and about F this and F that and all those conversations. And I couldn't help but notice because they showed up on my wall. And the thought came to me that it's going to be okay. Regardless of who is in the White House, you can determine what your circumstance is going to be. And it doesn't mean you're going to be oblivious, putting your head under the sand like an ostrich, bearing your head to the circumstances that are happening around you. So here's my question for you. What are you feeling right now? Is it sadness or is it happiness? You know, you really get to choose your feelings. And your feelings really contribute to your circumstances and the results that you get in your life. So our discussions from day to day is empowering reflections. And my only purpose for getting on here on a daily basis is to empower you, women, men, whoever it is who tune in, just to empower you so that you can begin to live that life that you deserve. And the life you deserve is the life you create first mentally. So I want to get you in that mindset so you can have an empowering reflection here today. And at the end of this conversation, you will be a little clearer about how you are feeling about the circumstances that are happening in your life or in the news or wherever it is. So what are you feeling today? Are you feeling scared? Are you feeling sad? What is the thought that you are having that's causing you to feel the way you are feeling? If it's fear, if it's sadness, if it's anger, what is the thought that is contributing to the way you are feeling right now? And on top of that, and that's my phone, so let me get that silenced. What are you telling yourself that is going to happen? Is it something you're telling yourself that is going to happen while you are feeling the way that you are? Is that what it is? And if you're telling yourself that something is going to happen, what are you telling yourself exactly? What is contributing to that feeling of despair or whatever it is that you are feeling right now? What is it that you are telling yourself that is happening? Is it a story that you are creating? What's the source of that thought? If you're angry today, if you are upset today, if you are sad today, if you are in despair today, what are you telling yourself is happening? I'm trying to turn off this phone here, and it's turning on and turning off. And so I just dumped it under the table there for a minute. Hopefully I don't get a phone call that's going to interrupt what's going on. But I want to spend the time with you. So I am staying here focusing on you so that you can be with me in this conversation that we're having. Because we're having a conversation about you. And at the end of it, my friends, what I want you to leave this live cast feeling is empowered and enlightened and way happier than when you started. Because I'm going to give you some nuggets of thoughts here that's going to get you in a frame of mind that if you are to continue on that path that I have given you, you certainly will end up feeling better than you may be right now. So back to that question. What are you thinking and what is the source of that thought? Are you telling yourself that something is going to happen? And whatever you're telling yourself that's going to happen, is that coming from something that you heard or something you experienced or something that you saw? Is that something in the past? Typically, it's something from the past that you are creating will happen based upon what you've seen, you've experienced, and you've heard. So I want to pause a little bit and to get you in that thought to think about it. What is a thought? Okay, you got that? Now, the next thing is, can you for sure know that those things that you are projecting that will happen is actually going to come to pass? Can you know that 100% for sure, beyond the shadow of a doubt? Can you be absolutely certain that the thing you are projecting will actually come to pass? The answer is probably no. Because you're not a fortune teller. You're not the divine. You don't know the end from the beginning. And so you probably don't know with 100% certainty that this thing is going to come to pass. You don't know that, right? So, what does all that mean? Simply means that even if something happened in the past, even if someone said something evil and horrible in the past, though the likelihood is that they will repeat the behavior, there is no certainty that it will happen. So living your life, your present life, based on something that happened in the past, projecting that past into your future will cause you anxiety, will cause you to be scared. It will cause you to be afraid because you are projecting some falsehood, because that's what it is at this point, since you're not sure it will absolutely happen. It is a falsehood that you are projecting into your future. See, when we learn to leave the past right there, that relieves a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety from our lives. So, since you can't know for sure that that will happen, and since you can't project that whatever, because it happened in the past, it's going to happen again, then you now need to select something different for you. Remember, the whole goal is that you will begin to feel energized, completely happy, completely fulfilled, and amazing at the end of this live cast, if that's not how you started the live cast. If nothing else, this is going to be food for thought for you to think about for the future when other things arise. So now, what can you do about that? Now that you know for sure that whatever you're projecting is not real, what are you going to do about it? You have to choose a new thought. That is your option. That's your election. You're going to elect to choose a completely new thought. And what would that thought be? You're going to choose something that empowers you. You're going to choose something that makes you happy. You're going to choose something that gives you a positive future to live into. Something that generates negativity out the window, positivity in your life. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be bearing reality. It's not like you're going to stick your head in the sand and hide all essence of what is actually going on. No. What you focus on will impact the way your day is feeling. It will impact the way you are feeling. It will impact your happiness, and then it will impact all the other people who are around you in your life. So you have to learn that you must take control of your own thoughts and do not let the circumstances that are surrounding you impact your life. Take your power back. Take back your power, my friends. That's what it's all about. So, how are you going to do that? You can take all of the necessary precautions that you want. If you're listening to some things that you feel will be happening, I love to use the Dale Carnegie principle to handle worry. Dale Carnegie says that you're going to ask yourself, what is the worst thing that can happen if this comes to pass? What's the worst thing? And then you lay your best plans to accommodate what if that worst thing happens. I'm going to prepare myself in this way just in case. And if that happens, this is what I'm going to do. So you lay your plans that way and then let it go. Another Dale Carnegie principle is live in a day-tight compartment. And you know what that means? It simply means that you are not going to live your life based on what you are dragging from your past into your present and your future life. That's what messes us up. Those beautiful relationships, we take a past relationship, we drag the currencies from that relationship into this one, and we mess it up. Then, as if that were not enough, we take that past ugly situation and we drag it into our minds into the future. And that we think, okay, that's going to happen. Hasn't happened yet, only happened in the past. But what we're doing now is we're projecting that it's going to happen. And we constrict ourselves and we stress ourselves out and we put ourselves into a deep state of worry. Let it go. Live in a day-tight compartment. Don't start projecting out what you think is going to happen, because that's only going to mess up your frame. I want to tell you this about the power of your thoughts. There is a book that I read called As a Man Thinketh. And I think you probably will be able to download a free copy online somewhere. But there is also a saying from a great book that I know that says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So you know what? You create your circumstances just by what you think about. Are you thinking about doom and gloom all the time? Well, look around in your life and see how many positive things are happening. Are you thinking about happiness and good things? If you set that day-tight compartment principle and just live one day at a time, not that you won't plan, but you're going to just take the worries of today or the joys of today all by themselves today and live in that moment, you will realize the most amazing, amazing life there is. And you know what's funny? Things start coming to you that supports that thought. So if it's kind of like this, if you are thinking positive things and happy things, then there's a way that the divine brings you more things to be positive and happy about. It's a law. And the converse also works. If you are just focusing on doom and gloom, oh my gosh, woe is me, then chances are that's what you are going to be attracting. you know something about what's called the placebo effect. I like that, thank you. That placebo effect, right? Here's how it goes. Somebody could be deathly ill. Listen to this. And they would be given a pill, a water pill, nothing inside of the pill. And the doctors will say, this will cure you. It will cure you. And they take that water pill, and what happens, people? They get cured. Much better than the people who didn't take a pill, or the other person who had the treatment. You know, they would sometimes be comparable to the people who had the treatment. That is the power of your thought. That is the power of your mind. You change your thoughts, you change your life. So this is one thing that you really need to focus on, that day-tight compartment, right? Because when you eventually change your feelings, you will eventually change your life. And release those things that are not serving you, and embrace those things that are healing thoughts, healing energy, positive healing energy. And there's one more thing before I let you go, and this is it. As I said, all this doom and gloom on Facebook today, the whole collective consciousness of everyone concentrating to focus on positive things will outdo and outperform any evil. Just remember that. You are going to be okay. You will be okay. Just focus on those things that empower and energize you, and let the negative crap go. Just let it go, because it's not going to serve your best interest. So, what I'm encouraging everybody to do is to start meditating. Yes, just get in a quiet place. There's no special way to meditate. Get some quiet music, lay down or sit, breathe deeply, and just focus on your breathing and the conscious positive thoughts. Get yourself in that frame. It's amazing what it does for your day. Really centers you and causes your energies to be relaxed and in sync and in one flow. I've been doing this for a few years now, and I can tell you it makes the greatest difference in my whole demeanor. You know, when I go places, sometimes people will say to me, you have just such a quiet, peaceful spirit. Now, I'm not quiet and peaceful. I don't consider myself to be. But they would say, you know, your energy is so calming, is what they say. And I just attribute that to the divine and my consciousness, and focus on what is positive in my life. So that collective consciousness, we all together make up one unit, believe it or not. The whole atom and the protons and the neutrons forming that nucleus and the electron. If you look at every atom, the atoms are all the same. And it's just different combinations of atoms that make us all unique and look different from both animate or inanimate stuff. So if the stuff is moving and alive and the stuff is fixated on a desk, atoms is what makes it up. And I once heard this, that when they looked inside of the electrons, all they saw were light vibrations. There was nothing inside there. We're all vibrating energy. And so with that, when we collectively group our thoughts together, we can impact the other vibrating energies in a way that you never, ever thought possible. So I hope I've given you some things to think about and some empowering reflections to cause you to step into your greatness today and to understand that you do not have to subject yourself to any of the negativity that is going on. You're going to be okay, Ask yourself what is the worst that can happen. Lay your best plans and let it go and live in a day-tight compartment and enjoy your life. Live it to the fullest and do not let anyone cloud your energies. And I thank you so much for joining me here today. And I wish you the most amazing, amazing day. And remember that thought, you and your thought make your life. Love you all so much. This is Dr. Gwen, empowering lives to live purposefully and passionately. Love you guys.